Hello, thank you for joining us here. We're at the Common, North Andover, and we're having a lovely day here. With me here is Phyllis Jones. She's the chair of the North Andover Commission of Ability Assistance. Okay, I got it right. So welcome, Phyllis.
Thank
How are
you.
you? And what do we do here at the Ability Assistance?
Just so you're aware, our official name is the North Andover Commission on Disability Issues, also known as the Commission on Ability Assistance.
Oh.
We amended that name. Disability Issues is the official charter name for the town. So we have to go through all sorts of charter work if we want to officially amend it. But we amended that name because nobody's disabled.
Mm-hmm.
So usually everybody's able to do something.
Yes.
And so the DIS, I'm a child of the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
the DIS has a negative connotation.
Okay.
So most everybody's able to do something, but they might need assistance with something else.
Yes.
Hence why ability assistance.
What is that?
Like I said, we're a town chartered commission, and what we're supposed to do is advise the Board of Selectmen of things that need to be done that could further assist people who fall into that population. One of the things we've done since I've taken over as chair is we've tried to bring programming into the town that people may not know about, that could assist people. Some of it is services, outright services. Others is just feel-good type of programming. We have a Facebook page where, again, we put on there, some things are just town recirculated, like the fireworks type of a thing. Some of it is just, we find a story about a woman who is the first woman with Down syndrome who happens to be a registered lobbyist on Capitol Hill in DC.
Okay.
So that we can show people nothing's impossible.
Right.
Because.
Yes. Yeah.
And some of it is just re-airing our television series, which is also now in podcast.
Oh, okay.
People can find us on Facebook at Disability Issues NAND, I think is the right
Okay.
Facebook page. I never know that. I usually have it on my teleprompter when I
Yes.
close out my show. But we've had amazing year this year.
So how can people get involved in this organization?
All they have to do is contact the town. I know that there are a couple of open slots. They need to be appointed by the Board of Selectmen and go through whatever review process that they have.
Okay.
We meet one Saturday a month. The most active members, we all have full-time jobs.
Okay.
So we meet on Saturdays, typically at the community room at the police station. They give us our home.
Okay.
And from there, we do what we do best. We put together programming.
How
go
about,
on.
People who would like to join your program, people who might need your services, how would they know or find you and get some help?
Well, they can always reach out to us through the town. I know on the town's website, under disability issues, I think is still what they officially have us under on the town's website. They have my contact information, so they can contact me directly, or they can always call Town Hall, and Town Hall can get the information and pass it along to me. I'm very responsive to emails, to texts, to phone calls. I do what I can to get back to people during normal business hours, but like I said,
You work.
I work full-time,
Yeah.
that typical 9 to 5 in Boston with the hour-and-a-half commute in each direction.
Yes, and a mom and all that.
And
so
all
yes,
that.
You're a busy
So,
lady.
exactly.
So what kind of programs do you have that in the community that people can come and join? Do you have like activities?
Well, what we do instead is we do a television program on North Andover Cam.
Okay.
That idea was born out of, we had brought in Ms. Wheelchair, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And it was very embarrassing. Only 3 people showed up. It was myself, another commission member, and my daughter, as well as Ms. Wheelchair, Massachusetts. And we tried to do an interview and put it on YouTube. And we realized people are busy.
Yes.
So we approached North Andover Cam and with the help of the Board of Selectmen, we were able to put everything together. And we had roughly 12 episodes this year. We're very proud of that.
Yeah.
We had on Joyce Bradshaw.
Okay.
She was our inaugural episode. She was able to tell us what services the town has to offer. For example, there's a Braille machine,
Okay.
for people who might need documents put into that format. But she went on about a bunch of different services. That was episode 1
Okay.
for anybody who's interested, and they can find that on North Andover CAM's YouTube site.
Okay.
Okay. They can also find it through our Facebook page.
Okay.
And we now have a podcast where we've taken the audio of all of these shows, because not everybody gets cable,
Correct.
or not everybody has the time to watch a television show. And that's available through Podbean, I believe.
Okay.
Would help if I had more information written down. I apologize. But we have turned that into, and we will continue to turn that into audio shows.
Okay.
Over the past year, we've had Joyce Bradshaw on twice. The second time, she ended up showing us, excuse me, the AutoMark machine,
Okay.
which is a specialized machine. It's sort of like a big magic marker, is the way she described it.
Okay.
Put the ballot in, and it has touch type for people who need that assistance. It has a larger screen. It has, headphones for people who might need that assistance, to give people more independence.
Correct.
We have had North Andover Parents Advisory Council on, and they told us about what they do. We had a 2-part episode with Triangle. They're a large organization that offers assistance to people, but they have 2 different formats. They have one format which is meant specifically for young people who are still in the school age system, 21, 22 and younger. And then they have a transition program to help people who are older.
Okay.
We've had on Class, which is a program, they deal with people who have differing abilities or disabilities. I hate that term, but unfortunately that's a term we have to use.
Yes.
But also come from harder backgrounds.
Okay.
We have had on the police and fire department, and they talk to us about emergency preparedness
Yes.
and the new Smart 911 system, which is an app which is fantastic. I would highly recommend it. Are you familiar with that at all?
I'm not familiar with it, so I'll have to check that out.
Okay. It is an app. You register your cell phone numbers, your house phone numbers. It's a nationwide ability if the community participates.
Okay.
North Andover is one of those communities. And then among the things that happen is you can get reverse information.
Okay.
So, for example, when we had the Columbia
Yes.
gas explosions, I was getting information on that.
Yes.
Or more recently, when we had 911 went down throughout
Yes.
the nation for a period of time.
Yes.
About, what was it, 2 months ago at
I
this
believe,
point?
yes, yes.
Somewhere. We ended up getting, my family and I, got the text messages from the town about what was going on at least an hour and a half before the emergency alerts went off from the state police.
Oh, that's good.
So we were able to talk about that and understand that more. And we also had a district director from Congressman Moulton's office on. I feel like I'm missing somebody, but again, we've done
You're
roughly 12 episodes.
Oh, that's
They're
great.
all out on podcasts now, and we're already looking ahead for our September and October episodes.
Oh, great.
In October, we're going to have the Senior Center
Okay.
come in and talk to us.
And what a great resource that is here in North Andover.
Yes, it is.
And some people might not know about all the different things that they could help with, just helping you with your taxes, or just a place for seniors to come and connect with other people. You don't have to be lonely. You can come and connect with other people and get some services there. So
Most
that's very
definitely.
important.
But our goal is to widen that understanding of what disability means.
Yeah.
It's not just for senior citizens.
Right.
School children, adults, from birth to not birth,
Yeah.
passing away. There are people, there are different abilities, there are different things. So what we're trying to do, we hope to bring in some state agencies to talk about services that the state agencies offer.
Okay.
And every year I go to a free expo in the fall called Abilities Expo. It's a huge expo in Boston. It's free to get into.
Okay.
For anybody who's interested in going, it is extremely accessible. And there are, for-profit companies there that offer services, but there are also lots of non-profit companies and organizations there. I remember our most important episode. It took us a year, and I actually made friends with this person over at the Abilities Expo the first time I went. Deb Freed from Paralyzed Veterans of America's New England chapter.
Okay.
And
Very important, yes.
and we actually have a commission member who is a veteran. He does have an injury, but it's not from when he served.
Okay.
But he was able to, just by listening in and working in the back, he was able to learn something about services that might be offered to him.
Right.
And that's the point of why we do the show.
Yes, definitely. Nice. Wow. It sounds like you guys have a lot of different things and ideas to help people of all abilities, help them to find resources. So
yes. And I would urge, if you know of a nonprofit that does work,
yes,
and helps promote or assist people with differing abilities, please reach out to me, because we can only do nonprofits and government services. We can't promote businesses because we are the town.
Correct.
So the town can't promote a specific business.
Correct, yes.
But yeah, if somebody is in knowledge of or works a nonprofit organization that has an umbrella to help people who need extra assistance with something, I urge them to reach out to me, and we can talk about getting them on the show, because we're always looking for new guests.
Always new guests and new resources for people. People, as you said, the word disability. Everybody has an ability to do things, but some things might be harder for them.
Exactly.
So to find resources to make their life more comfortable, easier, to be part of the community without feeling that, I can't do this because of this. Say you can do this because of all your other abilities.
Exactly.
So bring out the good abilities in people and not look at what they can't do, but what they can do, and make them feel confident about who they are and what they can do.
Exactly, and that's the whole point. We still do things like, if we see, here there's traffic lights out or there's potholes in the sidewalks, we still, if we get that information, filter it to the town so that they're aware of what's going on. We will be asking the town to allow us a little bit more knowledge of new buildings to make sure that the buildings are more accessible.
Yes.
Speaking of accessibility, Senator Bruce Tarr is one of the state senators here in North Andover.
Okay.
I had approached him late last year, shortly before the holidays. There had been a North Andover resident who had been stranded at the Lawrence Depot.
Okay.
Because the depot, have you ever been to the Lawrence Depot? Okay. So there's a beautiful elevator inside, but the doors are extremely difficult to open up.
Okay.
If you are working with a cane, a walker, a wheelchair, to be able to get in there. And so with his assistance over the winter, and it is now officially available, we had installed wireless push-button door openers, the blue handicap door openers.
So it's
they're wireless, based upon how it needed to be done there.
Yes.
And they're double wide openers. So it's not just the single door, but both doors open, so that there's no question about if somebody's wheelchair can get through or somebody's, somebody's scooter can get through. It's right there.
It's all accessible to them. Well, that's great work. Making great work in the community.
Thank you.
Is wonderful. Now, I know I hear on the announcements back here, in about 10 minutes, they're going to, on Mass Ave, they're getting the bikes lined up, they're getting the carriages lined up. So if you're here, go watch the push, pedal, and pump, or push, pull, and pedal. So bikes and carriages and all that kind of fun stuff. So, well, it's so nice to meet you,
Same
Phyllis.
here.
It's great work that you're doing, and I
Thank
hope
you.
to be able to help out with some of these. I have ideas. So,
Well, please, you can get to it.
okay, thank you, bye. Sorry, well, I wanted to at least have a closing. I didn't want to just, I wanted to have a closing.